Hello. Today I'll continue reviewing the codes. So I'm having a little, I'm having a little bit of a problem with state hook. So I will try to read this and try out these codes. Interesting. Hooks are a new addition. Okay, they let you use state and other React features without writing a class. Alright. The introduction page. Okay. Okay, React use state. Function example. Okay, hook. Okay, let me try out. So far my code is displaying this. Click, they were clicked, and oh, the event. Where's the event? I don't want this. I just want okay, so I was just gonna put something like React name. No, Control SK. Okay, so click it, event target inner text. Yeah, that's good. So what I'm going to do now is excuse me. Oh, we're in winter now. Oh, just went for a walk. Excuse me. Okay, so oh yeah, let me write over here. I'm gonna create a folder called hook.js. Let's see if I am RAF function. Okay, so I can select any of these methods. Structures. Certificate that okay, so I need just I need this arrow function. Oh, what about this? React arrow function export Okay. Oh, okay. I could have created a different one, like R, like ROAFCE, maybe, like that. Is the same thing, but I'm importing React, which is not needed, I think. It does work. So what they are telling me is yes, that I should use this state. I can simply copy paste and try out. Yeah, okay, let me try out. I'll call it, this is a function. Wait. Oops. Yeah, I got a running mouse now. I can't believe this. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, I feel much better. Okay, so declare a new state variable, okay, which we'll call count. Yeah, count. This is like a get count, set count. Okay, return. We'll return. You clicked this many times. Okay, let's just okay, this module, copy. I'm just gonna put it here. And I'm going to, okay. It says click me to reflect the hook. Okay, so I have a file, this hook, and I will import in my app. My app has all of that. I'm going to copy paste underneath the header content, and underneath I'm gonna put the hook, and my hook has been also imported. Now I'm going to save and check the what do you call this? Oh, error. Compiled with problems. Error. What was it? Count is not defined. Set count is not defined. Count is not defined. Not defined. Okay, let's have a look. Hook. Oh yeah. Yeah. Declare a new state variable. How is this not defined? Uh, let me copy all of this. Oh, I also need this line. Use state. Okay, so I need in my hook. I need import use state from React. Let's see if this solves the problem. One warning or one error. Here. React. Wait. Control Z. I'm gonna Control X. Wait. So I'm gonna import. What is this? Import React from React, and I would also probably get that here. Import use state. Now let me save. One warning. Count is not defined. Set count is not defined. Okay, let me copy all of this. Control A, delete, and save all. Still, don't worry. Don't you worry. Let me go here to apps, and I will once and for all comment all of that, and I will run it here. File, save all. Yeah, it gives me again the same problem. Example is defined but never used. What example? Okay, so Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. Control SK. In just Control saving. No. Oh, the hook. The hook is the problem. Okay, so function example. I don't understand. I know this has to go one by one every time I click. Why is it that I can't use it? Let me go to up. No. Let me go to body. Where's the body? Content. Okay, so let's expand this. Over here we have handle name. Hook. The hook is the problem. Oh, this is not exporting anything. Okay, so export, or set the default something. Default header. Control copy hook. This needs to export default hook. What hook? Probably I need to put here something like const hook equals to this arrow function. Function, or I can put it with some arrow function. Arrow function. Take this out. Doesn't matter. File, save all. Oh, you clicked 0 times. Click me. You clicked 2 times. Oh, it's working. It's working. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so what have I done? Oh, basically we'll start learning about hooks by comparing this code to an equivalent class example. Okay. Installation mechanism of hooks and select using the state using the effect hook. Now I'm happy here. So let's have a look. Hook. Basically we're declaring a new state variable right here, which we'll call count. Declare a new state variable. Okay, and we are destructuring, I think, with, yeah, okay, so what's this? New state, initial state number, or number react dispatch. Returns a stateful value and a function to update it. Returns a stateful value and a function to update it. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so the state and the set state use state, initial state, but this is good. Returns a stateful value and a function to update it. Which one is the function? This one. We'll see. During the initial render, the return state return state is the same as the value passed as the first argument. initial state. So this and this are the same. Okay, during the initial render, the return state is the same as the value passed as the first argument initial state. Okay. The set state function, okay. So set state is the value. Okay, so the set state. Okay, the set state function, this is the function, is used to update the state. So meaning that, okay, it accepts a new state value and enqueues a re-render of the component set state, new state. The set state. Oh, I'm getting confused watching the other thing. Okay, so first this is a state, this is the set state, this is the use state initial state value. Returns a stateful value and a function to update it. Function to update it, okay. During the initial render, the return state is the same as the value passed as the first argument initial state. Initial state. This and state are the same at the beginning. The set state function this is a function. The set state function is used to update the state. It accepts a new state value and enqueues a re-render of the component. Okay. Set state, new state. Okay, the set state function, this set state function okay, it's used to update the state. This function is used to update this state. Okay, it accepts a new state value. Okay, new state value. That's good. During subsequent re-renders, the first value returned by use state will always be the most recent state after applying updates. Note: React guarantees that set state function identity is stable and won't change on re-renders. This is why it's safe to omit from the use effect or use callback dependency list. I don't know what that means. Functional updates. Before we go, let's have a look. So I have a hook. Why did they call it hooks? Hooks API reference. A new addition. Okay, tells you. They let you use state. Hooks let you use state. Okay, this page describes the APIs for the built-in hooks in React. If you are new to hooks, you might want to check out the overview first. Okay. You may also find useful information in the frequently asked questions. Basic hooks use state, use effect, use context. Okay, I think I'm going to use this to mainly use state. Additional hooks use reducer, use callback, use memo. Almost looked like Finding Nemo. Use reference. Use imperative handle. Use layout effect. Basic hooks. Use state. Okay, use state. Excuse me. I'm feeling cold. Excuse me. This reminds me of this lady from Eddie Guerrero. What's her name? Eddie Guerrero's wife. She used to say, "Excuse me." Excuse me. I'm feeling poorly. I'm gonna die. Fucked. Oh, that's a good thing. Let me just put some music for 1 second. Oh.
You're gonna die. Fact. It's a fact. Reality will pass away. Fact. It's a fact. There is no escape. I've been losing my friends all my life.
Oh, by the way, the iTunes doesn't work anymore because doesn't work. Anyways, basic hooks. What was I supposed to do? Yeah, overview. Hooks at a glance. State hook. Okay. And then what? Declaring multiple state variables. First state. Oh, to-dos. Set to-dos. Use state. Text burn hooks. So I have here an object, an array of objects. Declaring multiple state variables. Oh, many states. The array, the structure and syntax. Let us give different names. Okay, I'm a little bit cold. No. This is much better. Ooh, this is heavy. Oh, not really. We just need to change, keep changing position. Okay, so the array, the structure and syntax. Let's us give different names to the state variables. State variables we declared by calling useState. Okay, these names aren't a part of the useState API. Instead, React assumes that if you call useState many times, you do it in the same order during every render. Okay, we'll come back to why this works and when this is useful later. What is a hook? Hooks are functions that let you hook into React state and lifecycle features from function components. Hooks don't work inside classes. Okay. They let you use React without classes. We don't recommend rewriting your existing components overnight, but you can start using hooks in the new ones if you'd like. Effect hook. What's effects? Oh, effect hook. Let me just have a look. Okay, use state effect. Count, set count. That's state. Okay, similar to component the mount and component the update. Component did mount and component did update. Use effects. Use effects. Okay, so this is use state. Now this is use effects. So we have here an anonymous function, an empty arrow function where update the document title using the browser API. Document.title, you clicked, then this many counts. So we're using useState, and we're using the useState inside a use effect. Okay. You clicked count. You clicked on click. I don't understand. Oh, I have an idea. Oh. Okay, so let me go. Let me just check again. I want this to be a good example of hook. Okay. if the new state is computed using the previous state, you can pass a function to set state. The value will receive the previous value and return an updated value. Here's an example of a counter component that uses both forms of set state. Initial count. Okay. Const. Okay. Oh, I see. Initial count. This function receives an initial count. Okay, fine. Good. And it will return. It will return what? Count. Okay, so we're just counting. So this is the initial count. Let's say 0, 0. On click set count, and then we have the initial count. Oh, this is the reset, the initial count. Okay, this is the reset. This is the button that is going to reset. And then we have on click, we have the previous count. Oh, okay, so the previous count will be the previous count minus 1. How do we get the previous? Okay, so previous minus 1. Okay, I think I get that. The plus and minus buttons use the functional form because the updated value is based on the previous value, but the reset button uses the normal form because it always sets the count back to the initial value. Oh, okay. Unlike the set state method found in a class component use state, what? Use state. So this with hooks we can just update the state of a component probably. Okay, so over here let me put another one here. P for paragraph. Oops. From here downwards. How can I make a end of line, a new line? Control S. Oh no, what is this? Oops, from here downwards. We click 0 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is done with hooks. Hooks. We clicked. Let me check. Let me check. No line and JSX. Ha ha ha. Oh, text. Hi, this is a text. How about just this? No line. Yeah. So where are we? Okay, so we're gonna so I'm going to no line. Okay. Oh. This is not working. Back /. Yeah, why is it not working? I'm going to copy this. Control copy. And then I'm going to put it here next to it. And I'm gonna put hooks. Let's see how this works. Maybe here. Nope, it doesn't work. Look. This is not working. Nope. Let me get color of this. Control copy. Okay. Hi, this is okay. So save all. React tank text. P. I'm going to nope. This is not working. I know what's going to work. I know what's going to work. Guaranteed instead of this. This is going to work. Done. Watch. Watch. Save all. Next. From here downwards. Nope. Oh no. Oh. And how about this? Oh no, not even that. What's wrong with this? Anyways, I'll have this one as comment. Okay, so what am I doing here? So this is very easy. I have a count and a set count, and I will use state. This is the state, and this is the set state, and this is the okay, the use state. Okay, this is a function, this is the state, and this is another function. You clicked count times. Okay. Click me. That's okay. Okay, on click. So we're gonna use on click on this event. An anonymous function set count. And then I'm gonna use the count plus 1. Yeah, I think I got it. Save all. Yeah, I got finally. I understood. So we're destructuring here what this somehow will give us a state, and it will also give us a function to set the state, to update this count state. So over here we're going to update. We say set count, and we just use that state that we had it, +1 or +2 or +100 or whatever it is. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh, now I can use another hook. Okay, I'll keep checking hooks. Oh, I'll keep checking on these hooks. Equivalent examples. Okay, using the state hook. Yes, I got that one. Equivalent class example. No, I don't want the class hook and function components. As a reminder, function components is a React look like this. As a reminder, function components in React look like this. Yeah, function components. Yeah, this is an arrow function. It has properties or arguments here, and basically it will be set to a variable const, and it will probably export it. You can use hooks here. Okay, return dev. Function example. Yeah, because this is just arrow function. Good. Or this as stateless components. Introducing the ability to use React state from this, so we prefer the name function components. Hooks don't work inside classes, but you can use them instead of writing classes. What's a hook? A new example starts by importing useState hook from React. This is a hook. Important use. Okay, so I'm going to document this. useState. Importing React, yeah, and useState hook from React, from React. Yeah. What is a hook? A hook is a special function that lets you hook into React features. For example, useState is a hook that lets you add React state to function components. We'll learn other hooks later that use a hook. It's difficult to understand the concepts, but I understand when we do it. So we have a state and we have a function that will modify the state. That's basically, yeah, We have a variable, and then we have a function that modifies that variable. Yeah. Declaring a state variable. What? In a class, we initialize the count state to 0 by setting this state to count to 0. Okay. This is a class example extends React component. Okay. I think I understood hook use state for now. So let me go back and keep watching. And let me go back to hooks.
Today we're going to talk about a React hook called useState. So let's look at the content component. In the previous tutorial in this series, we learned about how to handle click events. So we see several handle click functions here. And above we have a handle name change function that we've been calling since early on in the series. And this handle name change randomly generates a name, either Bob, Kevin, or Dave, and it gives a greeting in the page. But this is done in a very vanilla JavaScript way. We just define the function here, handle name change, and then when the page loads, it's called into action down here in the JSX, and we call handle name change with the operators right here. And this is thinking in the old school vanilla JavaScript way. This is not thinking in a Reactful way at all. We need to handle the state of our component, and React actually gets its name because it reacts to changes in the state of the component. And when there are changes, then it re-renders the JSX that we find here in the return statement. I'm going to press Control B to hide the file tree because we'll stay inside the content component for this tutorial. And back at the very top of this component now, we need to import our React hook. And that React hook is called useState. So we'll start with import, and then curly braces, and useState. And we use camel case there with state having a capital S. And from there we'll say from React. And now we can use the useState hook inside of our component. So we will start out by defining what we will use for state. And we're going to use a name, and then we're going to use setName. So this is array destructuring that we get from useState. And the first value, name, will provide the current state at any given point in time. And then setName is much like you would think. We can set the state with it. So if you really want to think about it this way, you could call name the getter and setName the setter, if you're familiar with vanilla JavaScript objects. So we'll set this equal to useState, and we put in parentheses, and now we can put data in here as default data for when the component loads, and this would be the original state or default state. And I'm just going to put in my name, Dave, to provide a name to begin with for the default state. And now that we have name, I can replace our handle name change down here in the JSX with the value of the current state for hello name. And when I save this, we should see the change. And yes, it now says hello Dave over here on the right in our application. But this will always say hello Dave right now. It is just getting the current state, the default state, and we're never setting it. So we need to change our handle name change function. And what we can do is, instead of returning the name or the random name value, we can use the setName method here from the useState, and we will pass in the value. So now handle name change will set a name as the current state. So let's go ahead and call the handle name change function now for one of the button clicks. So instead of handle click, let's put in handle name change, and we'll just use a reference here. And let's go ahead and change the text of the button to change name, and we'll save. And now when we click the change name button, we should call the handle name change function, and that should change the state. Now we might generate the same name. So after I click once, it may be Dave, or it may be Bob, or it may be Kevin. That's just how our function works. It could randomly be any one of the three. So I'll click it several times. We got Bob, we got Kevin, and back to Dave. Now it could easily do the same name 2 or 3 times in a row as it just did with Bob. And now we're back to Dave, back to Bob, back to Kevin. So the button works. It changes the state, and by setting that state change, React re-renders very quickly our content component, and we see the name change. Notice we used const here because we never want to try to reassign the name value here directly. We never want to try to directly modify the state of the component. We always want to use setName when we change that. And there are some gotchas. It's kind of learning how to think about state in the correct way. So let's look at some of these gotchas. And I'm going to define another one. Let's say count and set count. I have to spell count correctly there the second time. And we'll once again use state. And I'll set the initial state, or the default state, if you will, to 0. Now in handle click, let's go ahead and log the value of the count. So we'll just put count there, and we'll save this much, and let's look in our JSX to see where we could call handle click, and we don't really have it being called right now, so I'll go ahead and replace handle click 2 in this anonymous function with handle click for our second button, and we'll save. Now I need to right-click on the application and choose Inspect to show the console window in DevTools. And we're on Elements right now. There's Console. Let's clear out everything so we can see what shows in the console here. And I've got my DevTools docked to the bottom instead of to the right. You can change that with the 3 dots here and dock wherever you want to. So up here, if we click this second button, it should call Handle Click. And when we call handle click, what should happen is the count variable, I should say the count state, will be logged to the console, the value of the current state. So let's click this second button, and we get 0, and that's what we expect as it is the default state. Now there can be some gotchas, and you have to start thinking about state in the proper way to avoid this. So let's go ahead and add set count here to change the state, and let's set the state equal to count plus 1. Now what value would you expect to see when we log count here, which is the state? Let's go ahead and save. And we'll clear that out, and I will click the second button. We still get 0, even though we set the count to count plus 1, which is 0 plus 1. So the count should be 1, but the value of count is what was initially brought to the function. And since it was 0 when it began, it's still 0 here on the line underneath where we set the count to essentially 1. And if we even copy a second line, and you'd think, okay, now we've set it to 1, and then we're setting it to count plus 1 again, and it should be 2. That is really just not how this works. So clear that and click the second button, and now it's 1 because we previously set it to 1. But it is not 2. And I should have shown you that it was 1 before because it did change it to 1, it just didn't show it. So now it was 1 when it was brought into the function, but if we look at the value of count again, it's going to be 2, not 3. This will not add 2 to it because this value and this value are the same. So this was 1 plus 1, and then we simply set count to 1 plus 1 again. So it's still just going to be 2. And to display that, let's go ahead and change handle click 2, and we will change handle click 2 to just simply log the current state again of count. And now we can put handle click 2 here where we were calling handle click 3. We just need the reference, and that should also allow us to get rid of handle click 3 altogether up here. And we'll save. And now, if I click this button, the third button, the current state is 2. Even though we had 2 of these here, we had clicked it once before when there was only 1. So now if I click it again, it's not going to turn into 4. It logs the state that was passed into the function, which is 2. It doesn't change the value of count within this function, even after we set the count. And now when I click the third button, it's 3, not 4. It doesn't add 2 to the count. It only adds 1 because this was 2 plus 1, and this was also 2 plus 1. So we didn't really change anything there, and it's 3. Now that can be a little hard to wrap your head around. So just remember that the value of the state, the current value of the state, comes into the function, and we do not alter that. And even though you might use the set count or whatever you use to set the state for your use state, when you log to the console or use the value of the current state after that, it will not have changed because that's what was brought into the function. Okay, so I understand if that's a little confusing, but what I really hope you can take away from this, besides avoiding that gotcha, is that you need to use const because you don't ever want to allow the state to be changed directly, such as name or count. We can name these whatever we want to, and the convention is to name them what you're holding, essentially describe the data, and then in the function, or the method you could say, that follows it, it usually starts with a lowercase word set and then camel case and has the same name that the first value has here. So name and set name, and then we can use state. And you can use state for more than one thing inside of a component. You just have to define these. And I hope you understand how we started out with the default state of Dave, and then we were able to call handle name change and set a new name as the state, and that is why clicking our change name button continues to generate different names, although it might generate the same name several times in a row because it's just random between those 3 names. And now that you have a better understanding of state and the useState hook in React, we're going to go ahead and be able to build out more of our project in the next tutorial as we output lists to our content. Today's tutorial focuses on...
Okay, I'll have a break now. Whew. I'll have a break. I'm gonna check it later. So far, everything is working for me. Okay, catch you guys later.